Judges 5. On that day, Deborah and Barak, son of Ebinoah, sang. When the leaders lead in Israel, when the people volunteer, blessed be the Lord. Listen, kings, pay attention, princesses. I will sing to the Lord. I will sing praise to the Lord God of Israel. Lord, when you came from Seir, when you marched from the field of Edom, the earth trembled, the skies poured rain, the clouds poured water, the mountains melted before the Lord, even Sinai before the Lord, the God of Israel. In the days of Shamgar, son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the main roads were deserted, because travelers kept to the side of the road. Villages were deserted. They were described in Israel until I, Deborah, arose, a mother in Israel. Israel chose new gods. Then there was war in the city gates. Not a shield or spear was seen among 40,000 in Israel. My heart is with the leaders of Israel, with the volunteer of the people. Blessed be the Lord. You who ride on the white donkeys, who sit on the saddle blankets, and who travel on the road, give praise. Let them tell the righteous acts of the Lord, the righteous deeds of the villages in Israel, with the voice of the singers and the watering places. Then the Lord's people went down to the city gates. Awake, awake, Deborah, awake, awake, sing a song. Arise, Barak, and take your prisoners, son of Abinoam. Then the survivors came down to the nobles. The Lord's people came down to me against the warriors, those with their roots in Amalek came from Ephraim. Benjamin came with your people after you. The leaders came down from Machir, and those who carry a martial staff come from Zebulun. The prices of princess of Issachar with Deborah. Issachar was with Barak. There was a great searching of heart among the clans of Reuben. Why did you sit among these sheep pens, listening to the playing of pipes for the flocks? There was a great searching of heart among the clans Reuben. Gad remained beyond the Jordan. Dan, why did you linger at the ship? Asher remained at the seashore and stayed in his harbors. The people of Zebulun defiled death. Naphtali also on the heights of battlefield. Kings came and fought them. The kings of Canaan fought in Tanash by the waters of Megiddo, but they did not plunder the silver. The stars fought from the heavens. The stars fought with Sisera from their paths. The river Kishon swept them away. The ancient river, the river Kishon, marched on my soul in strength. The horses' hooves then hammered the galloping of his stallions. Curse Miraz, says the angel of the Lord. Bitterly curse her inhabitants, for they did not come to help the Lord, to help the Lord with the warriors. The wife of Heber the Kenite. She is most blessed among tent-dwelling women. He asked for water, she gave him milk. She brought him cream in a majestic bowl. She reached from a tent peg, her right hand for a workman's hammer. Then she hammered Sisera. She crushed his head. She shattered the pierced his temple. He collapsed, he fell, he lay down between her feet. He collapsed, he fell between her feet. Where he collapsed, there he fell, dead. She peered through the lattice, crying out, "Why is his chariot so long in coming?" Why don't I hear the hoofbeats of his horses? He wished princess answer her. She even answered herself, "Are they not finding and dividing the spoil? A girl or two for each warrior. The spoil of colored garment of Sisera, the spoil of an embroidered garment or two of my neck. Lord, may all your enemies perish as Sisera did, but may those who love him be like rising of the sun in its strength." And the land had peace for 40 years.
Judges 6. The Israelites did was evil in the sight of the Lord, so the Lord handed them over to Midian 7 years, and they oppressed Israel. Because of Midian, the Israelites made hidden places for them, slaves in the mountains, caves, and strongholds. Whenever the Israelites planted crops, the Midianites, Amalekites, and the people of the east came and attacked them. They encamped against them and destroyed the product of the land, even as far as Gaza. They left nothing for Israel to eat, as well as no sheep, ox, or donkey. For the Midianites came with their cattle and their tent, like a great swarm of lowouts number, and they entered the land. They lay waste to it. So Israelite became poverty stricken because of Midian. And the Israelites cried out to the Lord. When the Israelites cried out to him because of Midian, the Lord sent a prophet to them. He said to them, "This is what the Lord God of Israel says. I thought I brought you out of Egypt and out of the place of slavery. I rescued you from the power of Egypt and the power of all who oppresses you. I drove them out before you and gave you their land. I said to you, I am the Lord your God. Do not fear the God of the Amorites, whose land you live in. But you did not obey me. The angels of the Lord came, and he sat under the oak that was in Ophrah, which belonged to Joash. The Abizites, his son Gibeon, was threshing wheat in the winepress. In order to hide it from the Midianites, then the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said, The Lord is with you, valiant warrior. Gideon said to him, Please, my Lord, if the Lord is with us, why has all this happened? And where are all his wonders that our ancestors told us about? They said, Hasn't the Lord brought us out of Egypt? But now the Lord has abandoned us and handed us over to Midian. The Lord turned to him and said, Go in the strength you have and deliver Israel from the grasp of Midian. I am sending you. He said to him, Please, Lord, how can I deliver Israel? Look, my family is the weakest in the Midian in Manasseh, and I am the youngest in my father's family. But I will be with you. The Lord said to him, You will strike Midian down as if it were one man. Then he said to him, If I found favor with you, give me a sign that you are speaking with me. Please do not leave this place until I return to you. Let me bring a gift and set it before you, he said. And he said, I will stay until you return. So Gibeon went and prepared a young goat and unleavened bread from the half bushel of flour. He placed the meat in the basket and the broth in a pot. He brought them out and offered them to him under the oak. The angel of God said to him, Take the meat with the unlavished bread, put it on the stone, and pour the broth on it. So he did that. The angels of the Lord extended the tip of the staff and that was in the hand and touched the meat and the unleavened bread. Fire came out from the rock and consumed the meat and the unlavished bread. Then the angels of the Lord vanished from his sight. When Gibeon realized that he was the angel of the Lord, he said, Oh no, Lord God, I have seen the angel of the Lord face to face. But the Lord said to him, Peace to you. Don't be afraid, for you will not die." So Gideon built an altar to the Lord there and called it "The Lord is Peace." It is still in Ophrah of the Abizites today. On that very night, the Lord said to him, "Take your father's young bull, and the second bull 7 years old. Then tear down the altar of Baal that belonged to your father, and cut down the Asher pole beside it. Build a well-concentrated altar to the Lord your God on the top of the mound. Take the second bull and offer it as a burnt offering. This with the wood of the Asherah pole you cut down." So Gideon took 10 of his male servants and did as the Lord had told him, because he was too afraid of his father's family and the man of the city to do in the daytime. He did it at night. When the men of the city got up in the morning, they found Baal's altar torn down, the Asherah pole beside it cut down, and the second bull offering put on the altar that had been built. They said to each other, "Who did this?" After they made a thought and investigation, they said, "Gideon, son of Joash, did it." Then the men of the city said to Joash, "Bring out your son. He must die, that because he tore down Baal's altar and cut down the Asherah pole beside it." But Joash said to all who stood against him, "Would you plead Baal's case for him? Would you save him? Whoever pleads to his case will be put to death by morning. If he is a god, let him plead his own case, because someone tore down his altar." The day Gideon was called Gurbel, since Joash said, "Let Baal contend with him, because he tore down his altar." All the Midianites, Amalekites, and the people of the east gathered together, crossed over the Jordan, and camped in the Jezreel Valley. The Spirit of the Lord enveloped Gibeon, and he blew the ram's horn, and the Amorites relied behind him. He sent messengers throughout all of Manasseh. He railed behind him. He also sent messengers throughout Asher, Zebulun, and Naphtali, who also came to meet him. Then Gideon said to God, "If you will deliver Israel to me as you said, I will put a wall a wool fleece here on the threshing floor. If the dough is only on the dew is only on the fleece, and all the ground is dry, I will know that you will deliver Israel by me, as you said. And that is what happened. When he got up early in the morning, he squeezed the fleece and rugged dew out of it, filling a bowl with water. Gideon then said to the Lord, "Don't be angry with me. Let me speak one more time, please. Allow me to make one more test with the fleece. Let it remain dry, and the dew will be over the ground." That night, God did as Gideon requested. Only the flea was dry, and dew was all over the ground. Judges 7. Jerubbaal, that is Gibeon, and all the troops who were with him got up early and camped beside the spring of Harod. The camp of Midian was north of them, below the hill of Moreh. In the valley, the Lord said to Gibeon, "You have too many troops for me to hand the Midianites over to them, or else Israel might elevate themselves over me and say, 'I saved myself.' Now announce to the troop, whoever is fearful and trembling may turn back and leave Mount Gilead." So 22,000 of the troops turned back, but 10,000 remained. And the Lord said to Gibeon, "There's still too many troops. Take them down to the water, and I will test them for you there. If I say to you, 'This one can go with you,' you can go. But if I say about anyone, 'This one cannot go with you,' he cannot go." So he brought the troops down to the water, and the Lord said to Gibeon, "Separate everyone who laps water with his tongue like a dog. Do the same with everyone who kneels to drink." The number of those who lapped with their hands to their mouth was 300 men, and all the rest of the troop knelt to drink water. The Lord said to Gibeon, "I will deliver you with the 300 men who lapped with hand the Midianites over to you, but everyone else is to go home." So Gideon sent all the Israelites to their tents, but kept the 300 troops who took the provision and their ram's horns. The camp of Midian was below him in the valley. The night the Lord said to him, "Get up and attack the camp, for I have handed it over to you. But if you are afraid to attack the camp, go down to Peru and your servant, listen to what they say, and then you will be encouraged to attack the camp." So he went down to Purah, his servant, to the outpost of the troop who were in the camp. Now the Midianites, Amalekites, and all the people of the east had settled down in the valley like a swarm of locusts, and their camels were innumerable as the sand on a seashore. Then Gibeon arrived there with a man telling his friend about a dream. He said, "Listen, I had a dream. A loaf of barley bread came tumbling into the Midianite camp, struck a tent, and it fell. The loaf turned the tent upside down, so that it collapsed." His friend answered, "This is nothing less than the sword of Gibeon, son of Joash. The Israelites, God had handed the entire Midianite camp over to him. When Gibeon heard the account of the dream and its entire presence, he bowed in worship. He returned to Israelite camp and said, "Get up, for the Lord has handed the Midianite camp over to you." Then he divided the 300 men into three companies and gave each of them a ram horn in one hand and an empty pitcher with a torch inside it in the other hand. "Watch me," he said to them, and do what I do. When I come to the outpost of the camp, do as I do. When I and everyone with me blow our ram's horn, you are also to blow your ram's horn all around the camp. Then you will say, 'For the Lord and for Gibeon.'" Gibeon and the 100 men who were with him went to the outpost of the camp at the beginning of the middle watch after the sentries had been stationed. They blew their ram horns and broke the pitchers that were in their hand. The three campings blew their ram horn and shattered their pitchers. They held their torches in their left hand and their ram's horn to blow in their right hand. "The Lord," and they shouted, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon." Each Israelite took his position around the camp, and the entire Midianite army began to run, and they cried out as they fled. When Gibeon's men blew their 300 ram's horn, the Lord caused the men in the whole army to turn on each other with their swords. They fled to Akaki house in the border of Abel Mahola, near Tabernath. Then the men of Israel were called from Naphtali, Asher, and Manasseh, and they pursued the Midianites. Gideon sent messengers throughout the hill country of Ephraim with this message: "Come down to entramp the Midianites and take control of the water sources ahead of them as far as Beth Bar and the Jordan. So all the men of Ephraim were called out, and they took control of the water sources as far as Bethlehem and the Jordan. They captured Oreb and Zeb, the two princes of Midian. They killed Oreb at the rock of Oreb and Zeb at the winepress of Zeb. While they were pursuing the Midianites, they brought the heads of Oreb and Zeb to Gideon across the Jordan.
You what? In Judges chapter 8, the men of Ephraim said to him, "We have done this to us, not calling us when you went to fight the Midianites." And they argued with him violently. So he said to them, "What have I done now compared to you? Is not the gleaming of Ephraim better than the grape harvest of Ebenezer? God handed over to Oreb and Zeb, the two princes of Midian. What was I able to do compared to you?" When he said this, their anger against him subsided. Gideon and the 300 men came to the Jordan and crossed it. They were exhausted but still in pursuit. He said to the men of Succoth, "Please give us some loaves of bread to the troops under my command, because they are exhausted, for I am pursuing Zebub and Zalmunna, the king of Midian." But the princes of Succoth asked him, "Are Zebub and Zalmunna now in your hands, that we should give bread to your army?" Gideon replied, "Very well, when the Lord has handed Zebub and Zalmunna over to me, I will tear your flesh with thorns and briars from the wilderness." He went from them to Penuel and asked the same thing from them. The men of Penuel answered just as the men of Succoth had answered him. He also told the men of Penuel, "When I return safely, I will tear down this tower." Now Zebeth and Zalmunna were in Karkor, and with them was their army of about 15,000 men, who were all those left of the entire army of the people of the east. Those who had been killed were 120,000 armed men. Gideon traveled on the caravan route east of Nobeth and Jogbahath and attacked them army while the army felt secure. Zebeth and Zalmunna fled, and he pursued them. He captured the two kings of Midian and routed the entire army. Gideon, son of Joash, returned from the battle by the ascent of Herods. He captured a youth from the men of Succoth and interrogated him. The youth wrote down for him the names of the 77 leaders and the elders of Succoth. Then he went to the men of Succoth and said, "Here are Zebeth and Zalmunna. You taunted me about them, saying, the Zebeth and Zalmunna now in your power, that we should give bread to your exhausted men." So he took the elders of the city and took some thorns and briars from the wilderness, and he disciplined the men of Succoth with them. He also tore down the tower of Penuel and killed the men of the city. He asked Zebul and Zalmunna, "What kind of men did you kill in Tabor?" "They were like you," they said. "Each resembled the son of a king." So he said, "They were my brothers and the sons of my mother. As the Lord lives, if you had let them live, I would I would not kill you. Then he said to Jephthah, the firstborn, get up and kill them. The youth did not draw his sword, for he was afraid, because he was still a youth. Zebeth and Zalmunna said, get up and strike us down yourself, for a man is judged by his strength. So Gideon got up and killed Zebeth and Zalmunna, and took the crescent ornaments that were on the necks of their camels. Then the Israelites said to Gideon, rule over us, you as well as your sons and your grandsons, for you delivered us from the power of Midian. But Gideon said to them, I will not rule over you, and my son will not rule over you. The Lord will rule over you. Then he said to them, let me make a request of you. Every one give me an earring from your plunder. Now the enemy had gold earrings, because they were Ishmaelites. They said, we will agree to give them. So they spread out a cloak, and everyone threw an earring from their plunder on it. The weight of the gold rings he requested was 43 pounds of gold, in addition to the crescent ornaments and the ear pendants, the purple garments on the kings of Midian, and the gold cheeks on the camels. Gideon made an effort from all of this, and he put it in Ophrah's, his hometown. Then all the Israel prostituted themselves by worshiping it there, and it became a snare in Gideon and his household. So Midian was subdued by the Israelites, and they were no longer a threat. The land had a peace for 40 years during the days of Gideon. Zebul, son of Joash, went back to live at his house. Gideon had 70 sons as offspring, and since he had many wives, his concubine, who was in Shechem, also bore him a son, and he named him Ameliak. Then Gideon, son of Joash, died at a good old age, and was buried in the tomb of his father Joash in Ophrah of the Abiezrites. When Gideon died, Israelites turned and prostituted themselves by worship the Baals. They made Baal Berith their god. The Israelites did not remember the Lord their God, who had rescued them from the lands of the enemies around them. They did not show kindness to the house of Jabul for all of the good he had done for Israel.